Hello, and welcome to Small Biz Catalyst. I am your host, Ayisat Abilogun. Join me as we explore ways that we as small business owners can pay ourselves a growing six-figure salary without pulling out our hair. Whether you're a small business owner or an economic development professional, this show is for you. Let's explore together. And if you listen to the end, I will share some grants that might be beneficial to your business. Have you ever done an assessment and just found out, oh my, I could do better? Well, that happened to me. I recently did an assessment of my business around the themes of delegation and systemization, and I realized that I wasn't completely utilizing or automated in my processes. And I'm not talking about AI. I'm actually talking about systemization and processes. And while I was thinking through all of this, I remember several months ago, many lifetimes ago, I did work with a firm and managed all of their accounting functions. And so that included payroll, reporting, taxes, you name it. I managed all of their accounting processes. Well, when I joined the organization, I noticed that payroll took 3 days a cycle, and we did payroll twice a week. We had a small staff, so that was good. And then we had contractors, and at least 100 contractors at that time. I think a little over. And, I did notice that CFO actually would manually at the end, once we've uploaded the payroll information into our accounting system, would manually end check things. And I quickly realized that this was not efficient. Then a few months in, while working with that organization, we were about to hire triple the amount of contractors. And not only that, these contractors, because of the state law and their pay rates, required weekly payroll. Now, I just told you that we did. Payroll took us 3 days, and we did it twice a month. Now, imagine doing this every week. That means we've lost 3 days every week of just payroll, and every other thing that needed to be done, taxes, reporting, GL, everything. The whole accounting function still needed to be done. And so thankfully, I had access skills and I knew how to create databases and things like that. So I started creating a database to streamline communication between the data we got from the client, which was the hours logged in by the staff, the contractor, and have it speak the same language or be set up the same way. So it spoke the same language with our HR system, the way each contractor was set up in our system. And so with this, we're able to streamline payroll, and it became a 1-day affair. We were done in hours. And this was such a win for us because, first once this was done, 2 cycles, we were down, So now, because we had streamlined everything, we could immediately triplicate again, but the process would never change. Now, all we're reviewing for are the anomalies. And, going back and thinking, oh my gosh, and check in, each person, from one data sheet to the paycheck stuff was just not efficient. And as I looked at our business, I said I was doing an audit of our business, of our systems and processes. I realized that in the area of delegation, I was actually doing very well. The things that I didn't need to do myself, I did fairly well delegating. But in terms of automating and systemizing some of our processes, I hadn't done very well. And so when I read an article that said you could automate up to 80% of your business, that I was immediately interested. So as I'm exploring this, I'm sharing it with you. And my question is, what would you do if you could automate 80% of your business? I mean, I sort of think, oh my gosh, how efficient could I be? How much more time would I have? And how much more productive could I be? But what happens to our revenue? Let's jump into today's topic and explore how we could automate up to 80% of our business. Now, some of you may already be doing fantastic in this area. And if that's the case, well done. But if you aren't, I hope this would help you think through some of the things you can do and create some efficiencies in your business. As we look into the power of automation, the first thing we should do is debunk the myths. Entrepreneurs often think that they need to do everything themselves to maintain control, but that only leads to burnout. You don't have to do everything yourself. The second myth we need to debunk is smart automation. Smart automation does not replace human connection. It frees you up to do the things that only you can do, like closing the sales, working with clients directly. Automating our processes removes friction, streamlines workflows, and allows for consistent, replicable results. The ultimate automation tool. So while I was doing my research, I learned that Zapier is a powerful tool that lets you connect all of your favorite apps: Google Sheets, Slack, Gmail, HubSpot, and much more. And it also automates workflows between them. So you can set it up so that one action in one app triggers action in another. How cool is that? So as an entrepreneur, you can use Zapier to lead capture for sales and accounting, social media, and project management. How do you do that? Okay, lead capture. When someone fills out a contact form on your website, Zapier automatically adds them to your CRM, whether that's HubSpot, Salesforce, or whatever that may be. Now for sales, when you close a sale, maybe via Stripe or any of your accounting tool, Zapier adds the transaction to your bookkeeping tool, such as QuickBooks, Xero, whatever that may be. Now, you can also set it up so that when you use it on social media, it captures email. So when someone follows you on Instagram, Zapier can automatically add them to your email marketing platform. And for project management, it creates tasks in your project management tools, whether you're using Trello, Asana, Monday.com for emails, or Slack messages. That already sounds awesome to me. Why am I not using it? Now, if you decide to use it, you tell me and let me know how it goes. Now, let's talk about CRM, or customer relationship management. Your CRM is your business's best friend. It tracks interactions with customers and automates follow-ups, reminders, and even the customer's journey. So a CRM can centralize your leads, your sales, and communication. It helps ensure that you never miss a client opportunity, and it keeps everything organized in one place. Automation features in CRM include email sequencing, task reminders, and even trigger-based actions, such as sending an email when a lead hits a certain stage in the funnel. Of course, there are popular CRMs like HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, and ActiveCampaign. I actually use Bravo, and I love it. It used to be called Sendinblue. I've used it since its days of Sendinblue, and now Bravo. And it's a very simple CRM process. It's not as elaborate as I've used HubSpot, and I like it. But for some reason, we moved to Bravo. It's not as elaborate as HubSpot, where HubSpot has even your pipelines and, helps your pipeline processes and different things. Yet this Bravo is a very simple CRM, or at least in my opinion, and I just enjoy its simplicity. Now, if you've ever used Salesforce, I think of it as the most monstrous CRM. I like some things about it, some things, not so much. Hey there, if you're just joining us, this is Small Biz Catalyst. We would like to invite you into our Tag a Business team. Here's what you need to do. Nominate a small business of your choice, tag them on our website at smallbizcatalyst.org. That's small, BIZCATALYST.org. Tell us your name. Give us your email address, because that's how we'll be able to tell you if you're a winner or not. And then give us a website to a business of your choice. It could be your business or somebody else's. Once you've tagged a business, you'll be entered for a $25 drawing to a local business of your choice. We'll announce winners every month. And now, back to the show. What should you automate in your CRM? Lead follow-up. Send an automated email after someone downloads your freebie or contacts you. You can also automate appointment reminders. Automatically send reminders to clients or leads 24 to 48 hours before events. I especially like this feature because whenever I have an event, I like to send emails an hour before, 30 minutes before, because we all get so busy. I send a note before you go, the day before, so you can automate all of this. You can also automate nurture sequencing. So you can automatically add leads to a series of emails that educate, warm them up, and sell your services or products. Now let's talk about scheduling and booking. This part is especially it brings a special memory. A while ago, I was working on a particular project, and so I'd connected with someone and we needed to schedule an appointment. And I sent an email to her and said, hey, I'd like to schedule an appointment with you, and I've attached my booking page or my booking link down below. However, you're welcome to email me. And then I explained and said, for some reason, I typically don't do this. And I said, scheduling, in my experience, or my opinion, takes 5 emails, and we can avoid that by just using the link. And I said it takes 3 to 5 emails, but using the booking link is more efficient. Well, she said, let's do it in 3 emails. And this is email number 1. She asked me for days that I'm available. I sent the email back and said email number 2. Well, I didn't say email number 2, but she kind of did as 2, sent her the dates and times that I was available. And then she sends me back what she counts email number 3 and says, picks a date or some dates. And so now I put in my calendar, send her thank you, and the note saying, I've now booked this. Now, so 5 emails. She only recognized 3. That's fine. But all of that could have been avoided by just hitting the link, picking a date, and scheduling. Now, I do understand that sometimes some of our clients need a little bit of touch, and so I am never against that. You could also, this is where I incorporate delegation sometimes, where I would bring in one of my virtual assistants and, include them in that communication and allow them to do the calendaring, between client, getting the date options and all of that and setting it up for both of us. That typically helps. But of course, let's talk about tools. Tools for booking and automating your booking and scheduling. Calendly is a very popular tool. I actually love Calendly. You can use the free version. And of course, there's a paid version that lets you do a whole lot more. Acuity scheduling is another one. You can book.me is also another one that I didn't even know about until I was doing just research. Now, some of the great things about automating your scheduling is that you can automate reminders, which reduces no-shows. You can also set it up for time zone detection, and you can customize appointments. Like you can have, I think I remember seeing someone's Calendly link once that's got a 1-hour consultation time, 30 minutes, and then 15 minutes. And I've seen somebody else who has different things hey, do you want a pitch? Or I think they had about 6 different things. So you could book whichever one was more appropriate for that meeting, which I thought was great. What else could you automate in your business to free up 80% of your time? How about bookkeeping automation? Why should we automate our bookkeeping? I don't think I need to say this, but it ensures financial records are up to date in real time, which is crucial for tax preparation and managing cash flows, as well as financial planning. So some tools you can use are QuickBooks, Xero, which is spelled Xero, Wave, FreshBooks. A lot of these tools offer invoicing, time tracking, and accounting automation features for service businesses. Some of them would offer basic automation features for small businesses, and some even automate your invoicing and financial reporting. Some of those tools would automate your invoice and expense tracking, invoicing, and bank reconciliation. They make the process so much easier. So what can you automate? You can automate expense tracking. You can link your business bank account and credit cards so every transaction is recorded automatically. You can, of course, automate your invoicing. You set up recurring invoices for clients or customers. And of course, you can automate your tax prep. You set up tax rates and categories so that you never miss deductions. Now, here's a tip. If you use Zapier to sync invoices and expenses from QuickBooks to your CRM or project management tool, you could be automating at next level. Delegation or virtual assistant. Even with all the automation that you could do, there are some tasks that require a human touch. That's where a virtual assistant comes in. I love my virtual assistant. And of course, as you know, we do have a virtual assistant agency. If you go to smallbizcatalyst.org/VA, it'll take you right there to that resource. So why delegate to a virtual assistant? As you scale, certain tasks like customer support, admin work, or even content management are best handled by someone else. Hiring a VA allows you to delegate these tasks without committing to a full-time employee. What kind of tasks could you delegate? You could delegate your customer service, your social media management, email management, content management, and so much more. What should you do when onboarding your VA? Define tasks clearly. You want them to know what you want, when, and how. Use tools like Trello, Asana, or Notion to manage tasks and communicate effectively. Provide clear, standard operating procedures so they can perform tasks without constant supervision, thereby saving you time. You can start with a part-time VA or you can start with a full-time VA. And of course, at FLCA or a partner on one of our sister organizations, we do actually, for 2 cups of coffee a day, you could get a full-time virtual assistant. So we've talked about a lot of systems and where you could delegate and automate and systematize. But the secret to success is building your own system where everything works together to get you closer to your goals. So smart systems include lead generation, client meeting, follow-up, invoicing, and bookkeeping. These are all things that we just covered. If this episode has been helpful for you, why don't you share where or what areas you are going to automate in order to free up your time? And if you get to 80%, let me know. Even if you don't, let me know. Well, I hope this episode has been super helpful for you. It's been fun recording this and just even reviewing what I could do better in all the businesses that I manage. If this episode has been helpful for you, please rate and review the show. And if you're feeling especially generous, leave us a comment. And now for the grant section. Today's grant announcement is one we've shared before. It's by Ryan Foundation. This grant has a $500,000 maximum grant amount, and you have to be a nonprofit organization to qualify. The deadline to request information about the grants are February 1st, May 1st, August 1st, and November 1st. Grant requests and proposals are considered in March, June, September, and December. To find out more about this grant, go to ryanfoundation.com/guidelines for grants. Until next time.